What's up guys, Shawnthebro here, and in today's episode of the Super Smash Brothers and Platform Fighter tutorial series, we are going to be going over improved fast falling. So fast falling is what happens when you press down while you're falling or jumping or in some sort of air state. You lose some air control, but you get to the ground faster. This will help you dodge attacks or get to an item faster than your opponent. So when we come into the game here, we can see it in action. If I am to just jump and fall, all I do is jump and fall. With fast falling, if I jump up here, I can press down, and in this case, I've added an animation, which is kind of like a belly flop. That's to indicate we are fast falling. So not only do we actually fall toward the ground faster, but we're going to have less air control. It's a pretty simple mechanic when you're talking about it conceptually, but there are some things that are really important when implementing it. So we're going to be going over improving it today, adding more logic to it, and really getting it to behave with our system, our character states, and everything else how we want to. Before we hop into this episode, if you want to get caught up in the series, you can check out how we've done everything from items, throwing, damage percentages, knockouts, all these fun things. I'll link you to the entire playlist of the Platform Fighter right here in the top right corner. Alternatively, if you don't care about that, and you just care about fast falling, I do recommend you watch the first episode on fast falling right here, which is where we initially set up the system, and all of that is still going to be relevant today. We're just building on top of it to improve it. With that out of the way, we can go ahead and get started. So this is a code and blueprint tutorial series. We're going to be doing pretty much everything in the code today. We will touch the animation blueprint as well to add the animations into it, but let's start out in the code. So let's go to Visual Studio, and specifically we want to go to our SSB template character.h and find a variable called isFastFalling. This is a variable we had just to determine if the character is in the fast falling state or not. But it was a boolean before. Since we have this character state enum here, I would like to implement a fast falling state in here instead of using the boolean, because anything in this enum should not be able to occur with other things in this enum. For example, we can't be idle and moving right, or moving right and running right. Well, fast falling is going to be its own state. I don't want to be fast falling and taunting or something like that. So I've updated my e character state enum to have this e underscore fast falling value with a u meta of display name equals fast underscore falling. And I put it right under jumping, but it doesn't really matter where you place it, just as long as it goes inside of this enum. Now, if we go into the SSB template character.cpp, we want to go to wherever we're using fast falling. So I'm doing a control F here to do is fast falling and see everywhere we use it. So the first place we use it is in the constructor for setting the default value. I'm going to remove that. We don't need to have that default value in there because we're going to be replacing this boolean. The next place we use it is in our start fastfall function. We're setting is fastfalling to be true. I'm going to remove that. And in stop fastfall, we're setting it to be false. I'm going to remove that. So there is no usage of this boolean anywhere else throughout the code or the blueprints. If you have any other usage of is fastfalling, you can replace it with the enum value. Just to get this finished up, we can go back down to the boolean is fastfalling and just remove it. It doesn't need to be in the header file. We can go to the places we just edited. The constructor doesn't need it because we already set the character state to the default value of idle. But if we go down to start fastfall, I want to add this logic in here. So I want to set character state equals e character state e underscore fast falling. So this is setting us in the fast fall state. Now, when we call stop fast fall, this comes from a few different places. This could be when we take damage, when we land. All of those actions to date have their own character state that they're going to use, and so we don't need to actually reset anything here. We don't need to set character state back to idle here because they're not going to be going to idle necessarily. They're going to go to whatever state the system has deemed based on the reason for stop fastfall. So if stop fastfall is called from the landed function, they've landed on something, they're going to get reset to the idle character state from that action. We don't need to set it in here. So it becomes very, very simple. Small change, but it will be very useful later on to have that as a state other than a boolean. Now there's one other variable I want to make in the code that's not necessary for today, but we are also going to be using it a lot throughout the series. It touches on a lot of the things that we're doing in today's episode, so I'm going to scroll down to my variables, specifically my booleans for is pressing up, is pressing left, and is pressing right. These booleans exist so that we can determine if the player is pressing these inputs, regardless of states, movement, momentum, all these things. Is the player pressing that input? This is useful for a lot of reasons in the series, but I'm adding bool is pressing down today, the only one we didn't have. One immediate reason that comes to mind is that when we're fast falling, if we're still pressing the down key, we may want to fall through one-way platforms. So it doesn't matter what state we're in or anything, just is the player pressing the down key. So bool is pressing down. Once you add this variable, you can go into the CPP file again and go to where you set your default values, and set is pressing down to be false by default. Now, just with all of our other is pressing variables that we have, we just have to go to the input associated with them. So down in this case is the crouch input. We know this because in setup player input component, crouch input action is down on the keyboard or down on a controller. And so down is our crouch function. Down is associated with calling the start crouch function. When it's released, it calls stop crouch. So let's go to these functions. Let's scroll down to start crouch. And the very first line in here, before we do anything, we don't want to check for any states or anything. We just want to know if the player is pressing this. So once this function gets called, the player is pressing the down input. We want to set is pressing down to be true. Now remember, stop crouch is called when the down input is released. So whenever this function gets called up at the very top of the function, we want to set is pressing down to be false because the player has stopped pressing the down input. Once we have all that done, we need to just update a few areas where our character state was getting set to idle, but it shouldn't be because of our new state, the fast falling state. Specifically, we need to go to move right. So move right is right here. This is what happens when we are pressing right or left on our keyboard or input device, and it's actually moving our character. We can be in the air and this function will still be called. But down toward the bottom here, the last case is if the player is not pressing left or right. So at that point, we were resetting the character state back to idle if they weren't jumping and they're not in the recovery move. We need to add another one here because the character may be fast falling and they don't have to be pressing left or right to continue to do this. So they can not be pressing left or right and still be fast falling. We don't want to just reset it to idle. So in this if statement, just update, add an and, character state not equal to e character state : e underscore fast falling. I have move right controller as well, which is specific to controller inputs if you have anything you want to do in there that you don't want to do on keyboards. If this is the case, make sure you update the logic in here as well. So, and character state not equal to e character state : e underscore fast falling. And that's in the if statement before setting character state back to idle. Lastly, we have the tick function we need to scroll down to. So tick is my bottom function here. And at the very bottom of that, we have this section here where we're checking to see if the character has any stun frames, meaning they are stunned. Once they run out of stun frames, we set them back to idle. If you want to be able to be stunned while you're fast falling, then you'll have to add this check in here. If character state is not equal to e character state : e underscore fast falling. In my case, I don't want to be able to fast fall if I'm stunned, so I don't need this, but I wanted to bring that up. So I'm going to leave my tick alone, but just be aware of that. That may be something you have to change if you have functionality like that. But once you have this ready, we can go back into Unreal. The editor is back open, so I just want to show you I've added a new animation, specifically called default character underscore fast fall. This is my fast falling animation. It is just a character falling through the air, gives off that belly flop effect. Nothing else in here has changed. I've just rotated it accordingly to fit my needs. We want to go to the animation blueprint of this character, or all of our characters if we want to implement fast fall on them. And we want to go to the state machine. In here, we already had a jump section. Falling and fast falling are going to be very, very similar, almost exactly the same. So you can see we can go from jump to falling by simply checking if the animation for the jump has finished. But to go from jump to fast falling, we're going to have to be in the fast falling state. So let's go ahead and make a new state. Right click, add state, call it fast fall or whatever you want to call it. The basic state, I don't have any special events on here or anything. And first of all, we can go into this state and I can add this animation in here. So again, that is DC underscore fast fall. That is my fast falling animation. I haven't changed anything in here. You may want to set it to not loop. I left it as looping in this case, but it depends on your animation. Otherwise, that's all you need for your state. Obviously, set this up to your liking, but the main things we need to do are to be able to go from fast falling from the jumping state in the regular falling state. So first of all, jump to fast falling. If you make that transition, you get this right here. So if we go into this transition rule, I'm grabbing my character reference, which is just the owner of this animation blueprint, which is my SSB template character. From that, we can get our character state. And from there, we can check if the character state is equal enum to fast falling. If you drag that into the result, then we'll go to the fast fall animation from the jump animation if we're in this state. Now, I don't have any transition events or anything, it's that simple. I did, however, make this transition rule shared. So when you click on a transition rule that is not shared, you will have this button that says Promote to Shared. You'll have this in Unreal Engine 4 and Unreal Engine 5. If you hit Promote to Shared, which is right here, it will ask you to name it. I just called it Fast Fall. This means we can use it in other places. So now I'm going to go from falling to fast falling, and I want to do that via the same means. I make a transition from falling to fast falling. For my transition rule, I select fast fall and we're good to go. No transition events on this one either. Now, fast falling can also go to recovery and idle. So recovery is a shared rule that we have, which just checks the character state for the recovery state. If you still have your recovery move available to you, I think it's perfectly reasonable to go from fast fall to recovery. And so I have a transition from fast fall to recovery right here. And I just made sure to use my recovery shared transition rule. No transition events. And then lastly, we have fast falling to idle, which we also have a shared rule for called falling to idle. It's going to be the same transition rule. Basically, we're just checking that we're not in the air anymore. So fast falling down to idle, use the falling to idle shared transition rule. This one, however, I do have a start transition event called return to idle because falling has this as well, and I wanted to copy that, and then you are done. Thank you so much for watching. If this video helped you, please subscribe. It does more for myself and the channel than anything else you can do, and it lets me know that you're interested in the Platform Fighter and Super Smash Brothers tutorial series. If you want to support me further and get these templates when they're created and finished along the way, feel free to check out the Patreon. I'll link it in the top right corner. YouTube membership or Discord subscriptions, all of those places get you benefits and they support me, so I'm very grateful to those who have. Thank you guys so much. If you ran into any problems while implementing your improved fast fall, please let me know. You can reach out to me in the Discord community. There's a link in the description and I would be happy to help. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Shawnthebro, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye, guys.